Hey Kathy, this is Dave. We're getting ready to start agenda charter now. Just a reminder to keep your video and microphone ready to go for votes.
I'm trying to get back to it. Somehow I lost it when I was switching. Can you see me?
Kathy, can you hear me? Legislator Taylor, can you hear me?
No, Dave.
Okay, you can hear me now.
Yep.
Okay,
You
just
see?
a reminder to when the meeting starts to have your video on and your microphone on so we can hear your vote.
I'm on some screen. I don't know. I'm trying to find my microphone.
Kathy, we can hear you, but we can't see you. Will you turn your camera on?
I'm trying to.
The October 24th, 2023 meeting of the Agenda Charter Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Barnhart. Ms. Barnhart is present. Mr. Brew? Mr. Brew is present. Mr. Long? Mr. Long is present. Chairman McCabe?
Present.
Chairman McCabe is present. And Ms. Taylor?
Present.
Ms. Taylor is present.
Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
There is not.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the August 21st, 2023 minutes before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Mr. Clerk.
Referral 23-0326, enact a local law entitled Uniform Code Enforcement.
Second.
Moved by legislator Brew, seconded by legislator Long. Is there any discussion? Legislator Brew?
Could the administration just provide an overview of why this is necessary, what we currently have, and what properties we will be using this code enforcement for?
Through the chair, the county is currently enforcing the uniform code pursuant to a resolution passed in 1987. But since their time, there's been updates to the code, needing both an update to our enforcement of the code and consolidating all of that into our Monroe County code so that it is available to the public and searchable by the public. So the county has been enforcing the uniform code. It is subject to all buildings owned by Monroe County, any buildings built on property owned by Monroe County, as well as the Monroe County Water Authority has been subject to our jurisdiction and we've been issuing building permits to the Monroe County Water Authority since what best we can see is 1995.
Thank you. And a follow-up question to the administration through the chair. Is there any additional training or educational requirements as a result of this update?
Through the chair, the Monroe County's code enforcement officers already go through the required training, so there's no additional training needed because of this local law.
Thank you. Yield the floor.
Any other discussion? Seeing no other discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
I,
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 23-0340, authorize the creation of the Monroe County Land Bank.
Moved by legislator Brew, seconded by legislator Barnhart. Is there any discussion on this one? Legislator Brew.
Yes, thank you. Through the chair, could the administration provide an overview of how this land bank will work? What is the purpose and why it will be beneficial to Monroe County?
Through the chair. Foreclosing government units are authorized under not-for-profit corporation law to establish land banks to help revitalize and bring back distressed properties that are tax delinquent or in our tax foreclosure process. The city of Rochester formed the City of Rochester Land Bank in 2013. At that time, it appears Monroe County was not interested in joining a land bank. So through additional discussions with the city of Rochester, they're in support of Monroe County forming its own land bank, which pursuant to the not-for-profit corporation law would encompass all of Monroe County, but not the city of Rochester, since they already have a land bank. Through the land bank, I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember all of the questions. Through the land bank, Monroe County will be able to take tax delinquent and foreclosed and distressed properties off of its tax delinquent list, transfer them to the Monroe County Land Bank, and work both itself and through not-for-profit partners or training or vocational schools to bring those properties back to a use and back onto the tax rolls.
Thank you. To the chair, a follow-up question, if I may. So once the properties have been renovated and brought back up to a marketable state, would the land bank be charged with actually engaging and selling that property back, or would they contract that out through a realtor, or exactly how would the selling portion of the repurposing of the property work?
Through the chair, it would likely be through a realtor or some sort of professional service to help market the properties appropriately. One item that a land bank can do that a municipality cannot do is that it can target specific programs that it is looking to invest in through this property. An example of that through other land banks throughout New York State is affordable home ownership. So whereas the county is required to take the highest price on when transferring property, a land bank could identify specific programs. Again, an example is affordable home ownership that could target owners that meet certain income requirements and or they themselves have to invest in the property and retain the property as owner occupied for 5 years, an example. So there's many things that a land bank can do that a municipality cannot do. And those would be priorities taken by the land bank to identify those sales. So again, an affordable home ownership is a good example of what a land bank may do that a municipality cannot do when transferring property.
Okay, thank you. And just one more question, if I may, through the chair of the administration. So let's say, for an example, property is foreclosed and it is $10,000 in arrears for county taxes. The land bank takes possession of the property. The property is revitalized and put back into a marketable state. Is the county entitled to claim the back tax owed? In this case, would be $10,000 as a part of that sale.
Through the chair, that would be a negotiation point between the county and the land bank when transferring that property. It is very typical for land banks to take what in practice is a first lien, so that the back taxes are paid off first from the sale proceeds. So that is typical in a land bank transaction between a county and the land bank when transferring the property on the first instance.
Thank you. Yield the floor.
Legislator Barnhart.
Yes, I was really pleased to sign on to this legislation, but I do have one question. This says there's no impact on revenues or expenditures in the current Monroe County budget, but I imagine there would have to be funding for the land bank. Explain how that would work?
Through the chair, the legislature authorized $1 million of ARPA funding to go to a joint city, county and land bank. Once the land bank is approved by Empire State Development and then the certificate of incorporation is filed with the Secretary of State, it's our intention to amend that resolution to have the $1 million funding go to the Monroe County Land Bank.
Any other discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Item carries. Next item. Oh,
That's it.
Are there any other matters to come before the committee this evening? Seeing none, there being no other matters, the October 23rd, 2023 meeting of the Agenda Charter Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of Agenda Charter will be held on Monday, November 27th, 2023 at 5 p.m.